Good Wednesday morning, Mount Olive family, friends of Mount Olive Church. Hope everybody's having a good week so far this week. Matthew Hubbard here, bringing you a quick devotion this Wednesday morning from Brother Jody's message on Sunday that the Lord gave him. A really powerful message. If you weren't there, haven't watched it yet, I really encourage you to go back and do that. Just quick devotion here on his point that God always provides, and listening to the sermon and reading this again for myself, we see Abraham's faith in this, but we can also see how Abraham had modeled his faith for his son Isaac as well, and how Isaac trusted in his earthly father because the faith that Abraham had in God, and Isaac, being instilled with that faith to trust God the same way that his father had, and knew that he could trust what his father was doing because of that faith. And you look at the life of Abraham, and I've been really kind of studying on this a little bit myself, but you look at what Abraham did. He trusted God, and he did what God said for him to do. And he obeyed, God's commands to him, and because God had proven himself and shown himself time and time again to Abraham, Abraham was able to have faith in him and believe and trust everything that God had told him to do. And how much better our lives would be if we could just do that, if we could just have that faith that, look at all that God has done for us in our own lives. Remember those times and trust in Him each time that a trial or a giant or anything comes up. That look at what God's done before, and what can He do out of this as well. But Genesis 22:7 and 8 says, "And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together." And you look in the prior verses there, that Abraham knew God would provide one way or the other, that because he said him and the boy would come back. And Isaac didn't question that. He went along with what God had instructed his father to do and trusted his father. Because of the faith that he had, and believed himself that God would provide. And that's so crucial for us as parents, as Christians, as involved with the children in the church, that that these kids, they're so observant, but they will see our faith in trials, and they will model that. Whether it's good or bad. And you look at Proverbs 22:6, it says, Train up a child in the way they should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. How are we training up our kids to have faith like Abraham, or to when the giant hits, to doubt and fear and worry? And look at Paul's letter to Timothy here in 2 Timothy 1:5. Paul says, When I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt first in thy grandmother Lois and thy mother Eunice, and I am persuaded that in thee also. Timothy's mother and grandmother had very strong faith, and Paul recognizes that, and he sees that has been instilled in Timothy as well. And I'll read you this right quick. It comes from a devotion that I get emailed to me every day. From Truth for Life, but it says, We are all leaving a legacy. When we walk out of a room, either we leave behind the aroma of Christ that spreads the knowledge of Him everywhere, or we are leaving the less pleasant smell of self-promotion or the vacuum of saying and being nothing much at all. A legacy of faithfulness, godliness, kindness, gentleness, honesty, integrity, love, and peace is a legacy that will be remembered with affection. But most importantly, it will point people to the one whose life matters most, the Lord Jesus. And so just keep that in mind. And when you're around these kids and your own kids. And what kind of legacy? One full of faith or one living in fear and doubt? Trust God's promises and trust what He's already done for you, that it's all in His hands no matter what. So I hope you guys have a good week this week, and I hope to see you in church real soon.